53. Yes, starting my second year into this long streaming, long streaming. I'm all fucked up. Onto this live streaming silliness. The usual suspects are checking in really quick. Cuban Coyote, Pussy Pounders in the house. Miguel Marin, I don't know who he is. Some Izzy Caravubias. And anyway, a bunch of Brett Burke in the house again. It's not really Brett Burke, but it's so funny that he puts himself up as Brett Burke, because then Brett Burke hits me up on Instagram's like, hey, that guy's not me, man. I'm like, no, it's you, bro. It's you. Forever and ever, it is going to be Brett Burke. So, episode 53, live stream. Today we're going to talk 3 subject matters that are kind of floating out there. In terms of, drama. So, the biggest one is going to be the B is for build guy. Hold on, I got to clear my throat. All right. So let's talk about the B's for build guy. And I just got caught up as to what happened. But the funny thing is there's a lot of stuff that is not being said. A ton of things that are not being said. And I want to make sure that I totally go off kilter and guess as to why it's happening, and probably am not right at all. Man, everyone's checking in. Thank goodness everyone's checking in. I love it. This COVID thing actually has grown my channel because a lot of people are just home and they can count on Tuesday nights having something to look at. That's why I didn't do it on Monday, because Monday Night Football. Tuesday, what the fuck you gonna watch on Tuesday? So, the B's for build guy, I guess, was building a Eleanor Mustang, which I think is hideous. I know, unpopular opinion time. I think the Eleanor Mustang is meh. It's meh. I saw the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, thought it was a cool car. I'd rather have the Ferrari. Oh, you're gay. No, I just don't have an affinity for 60s Mustang. But this guy was building cars, keyword building. Like he was going to put an old body, graph it on a new chassis, and have like basically a 15 plus Mustang look like an Eleanor Mustang. But then all of a sudden the videos went away and then his car got taken away. Now it is not clear. 2 things are not clear. Did he get paid for that car? Because if I'm building something and I put blood, sweat, and tears into it, and all of a sudden Disney or whoever the fuck owns the copyright to the character name, because now they say that Eleanor Mustang is a character, I would be fighting it. Wouldn't it be awesome for my channel to be sued by Disney to really get after it and say, fuck you, you're gonna, really fight that fight? Now, the gentleman probably said, I'm not about that fight. I'm not exactly Mustang Bill Sr. said overdone. Exactly. Once the Eleanor Mustang came out and Gone in 60 Seconds, everyone and anyone was building that shit, and it became played the fuck out. So anyway, the guy supposedly got his shit taken, and he was just like okay with it. Then he just kind of said, I'm going to start another project. I go, whoa, wait a minute. What are we not? Let's totally speculate and go off the deep end and go, why are we not hearing the real story? Probably because he got paid hush money, right? Why else would I stay quiet about something unless I was given something to stay quiet about, aka hush money? So this guy supposedly got his car repoed. He didn't put up that big of a fight. He just said, well, I got repoed because apparently Disney has a character or owns the rights to the Eleanor name. Now, if he wasn't making money on it, I don't think Disney would have given a shit. He would have been like, hey, I'm gonna just show you a build that I'm doing, but I'm not gonna monetize it, because what happens is when you put the name Eleanor in the title name, now you're okay. I guess if the company really wants to go after it, right? It's almost like t-shirt sales, right? Let's say, for instance, I have official NBA jerseys, like exactly the copy, LA Lakers jersey. I mean, perfect LeBron James bootlegs. And I'm on YouTube saying, I am going to show you how I am making the LA Lakers bootleg. Well, I think the LA Lakers, depending on how many views I'm getting and depending on how much money I'm making, their next course of action will be dictated by that. Like how popular that chat. So if I'm making millions of dollars or potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars on my channel based on something that I did not even seek out a permission for, then the LA Lakers would have a right to come after me. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's bullshit. What if the General Lee, if you want to build the General Lee, what if you want to build Kit? What if you want to build the DeLorean from Back to the Future? Well, you can build it in your garage. Build the motherfucker. I don't think that's going to be a problem for Disney. The problem is going to lie where you're making money, right? When you're making money. Oh, what about if I sell the car? That's totally different. If you're building a car named Eleanor, which is copyrighted and owned by Disney, and again, I'm totally speculating. I don't know. This is what actually happened. I'm playing devil's advocate. Then they have some kind of right to say, hey, B is for build guy. I appreciate you guys liking the thing that we own, but I think you're going to have to stop this project because we might have legal backing into this silliness. And it sucks, but I'm hoping that someone said, we're willing to compensate you monetarily in order to right this inconvenience. But we really cannot have people going out there, building a name and character that was copyrighted by Disney or whoever owns it, and I can't have you making money on it. So how about you just let us have the car, here's some money, and because he seemed to let it go kind of easy, right? Like all of a sudden, he just seemed to let it go like, well, shit's gone, so we're going to start another project, and we bought 2 more cars. I'm like, whoa. I want to know more about what happened there. Now, great example here. When you put a song out that either resembles or closely resembles another song, like the notes have to be in line. Have you ever noticed when you go to an Applebee's, Texas Roadhouse or whatever, they never say happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. I'm going to get copyrighted right there. That shit is copyrighted. So a company cannot be in a restaurant going, happy birthday to... No, that is copyrighted. Now, you could do it in the comfort of your own home as long as you're not a business using something without permission. It is no different than me using music without permission. That is what I think their position is. Do I think it's bullshit? No, because let's say, for instance, I own something and someone is using it without my permission, but I own rights to it, and he's making money on it, I'm going to have a problem with that. So whether that was the case or not, the guy got screwed, or maybe he should have done his research. And now for all you car builders out there, if you're going to build a General Lee, actually right now, nobody's building a General Lee tribute car. Nobody's building a General Lee. No fucking way. If you're building the A-Team van, if you're building the Knight Rider, if you're building the DeLorean on a YouTube channel and showing people the progress, get clearance first. Get with a lawyer. Say, hey, lawyer, is it okay to do this? Or, hey, does anyone own a copyright to Kit? By the way, if anyone knows what KITT means in Knight Rider, I'll send you a shirt. And it's going to be large or extra large. That's it. First guy in the chat that tells me what KITT stands for, I'm going to somehow get you a shirt. So I'm going to just monitor the chat right now. So who knows what KITT in Knight Rider stands for? Kit, the car. I'm going to wait to see who's the first one that gets the right answer for KITT. It's an acronym. K.I.T.T. Someone says, Cisco Dude says, all he had to do was not call it Eleanor, but nope. Exactly. Just say a 69 Mustang, da-da-da-da-da. There, John Paul, you almost had it. You almost had it, John Paul Demolay. Almost had it. There it is, Chase Delia. Chase Delia, the Knight Industries 2000. Chase Delia, somehow get a hold of me, whether it be on Facebook or Instagram, and I will send you a shirt. Good job. That guy said Knight Industries 3000. She almost had it. Chase Delia, hit me up. Chase Delia, hit me up, and I'll get you a shirt ASAP. Everyone's like, Knight Industries 2000, Knight Industries 2000. I'm like, sorry, Chase was the first one. Could you imagine being the first one to reply, and you got it wrong, and you got Google right in front of you to do your shit? Unreal. He done fucked up. So anyway, the B is for build guy, I don't think it's bullshit that his car got taken. I think he probably didn't do his research, and who knew that it was copyrighted? But he said Eleanor, Eleanor, Eleanor. Started putting shit on YouTube. It got noticed. A lawyer probably called another lawyer, was like, yo, no, we can't have that shit. And yo, you can't do that. And we got to take the car. And that's it. And I'm sure he got compensated. I hope he talks about it, but it sounds like he can't talk about it, which I think is usually part of the deal. Here's some money. Shut the fuck up about it. So that's my thoughts on the B is for build guide. Don't go out there building a tribute car and calling it what the character is unless you do your research and it is not, it is not copyrighted by anyone. You can just do your thing. So then the Mach 1, more news started sprinkling out about the Mach 1. The Mach 1 seems to be basically a parts bin build. What does that mean? I heard that muscle from America. I heard that term from American Muscle, good looking guy with the blonde hair, Justin Dugan. He was like, it's a parts bin build. And I'm like, he's right. So it looks like to me that the Mach 1 is going to be a 5-liter crossplane crank version of the GT350 with GT350 power. So it's going to have potentially GT350 heads, GT350, can't be cams because they're flat plane. So they match the crank. So 350 heads, 350 induction system, and maybe, I don't know, a 350 cold air, a stupid shaker hood that probably snorkels all S-shaped and dumb, wheels, some badges, and some seats and some stripes, and it's going to be a $60,000 car, right? So is there a car like that out there right now? Like, is there another car like the Mach 1 right now? Yes, it's called the GT350, and it costs the same. So I don't know what Ford's doing. Now, maybe they're saying, the flat plane crank motor itself has not been great. It has had a lot of failures, oil consumption issues. They just lock up. Ford is just like, fuck you. So they probably said, you know what? 2020 is the last year we're doing the GT350 because it's a dud. The body's awesome, so we need to shove something that's more durable in there, which is a 5-liter, but we need to make power with it. So they're going to shove the 350 heads in it. Better cams, probably. 350 in manifold, better intake, better flow and exhaust. Maybe GT500 exhaust. That would be cool if it had GT500 catback, or actually GT500 complete exhaust. Have you seen the new 2020 GT500 manifolds? They're like shorty headers. It's awesome. So I'm sure that's where the 525 is going to come into play, but they're measuring that at the crank, and that's like measuring your dick from your asshole. So that gives you, 480, 460 wheel, exactly what the 350 makes. So I'm glad. Let the Mach 1 come out so that the GT350 drops in price and I can pick one up pretty cheap, shove a blower or some twin turbos in it. New daily driver, white car goes bye-bye. That's the plan. So that's my thoughts about the Mach 1. Now, let's talk about customers never being right. I do my 15-minute, run up. So almost every single time a customer tells me I'm wrong, I usually don't get anything data driven. It's like, well, my buddy's is tuned by you and it's the same car, so you should do a better job of tuning my car. I'm like, actually, your tune is his tune. Your tune is his tune. No, it's not. He has a premium 355 and I have a base 315. So it's not the same car. Yeah, he's 60 foots better. Right. Premium cars have 355s in the auto and the base has a 315. But that shouldn't matter. Actually, it absolutely matters. So basically every single time a customer says, you done fucked up, Aaron, basically then I start asking questions. Now I'm wasting time. Now I am wasting my time where I could just be throwing a calibration at you and we can be going back and forth and we are gone. What's up, Rami Zaidan in the house? You have to listen to what I'm telling you. Now, sometimes I fat finger something. Sure. Sometimes I fat finger a math curve. Sometimes I fat finger injector data, right? Or sometimes you tell me it's Deechwork 95s and it's actually Deechwork 72s. And then you show me the side of the body of the injector and go, no, look, they're Deechwork 95s. I'm like, it's a Bosch body part number. I have no idea what that injector is. It could be an LU47, an MU52. It could be a 60. It's a Bosch body. It doesn't matter. Now, recently I had a customer, and I hope he doesn't mind me talking about it. His name was, let's call him Alan. He's like, hey, got a Whipple convertible, badass, and, I want to get a tune from you. Okay, boom, here's the bass file, let's party. He has a T56 in it. And of course, I say pretty much right off the bat, does it have a OSS converter box in it? What does that mean? Because a T56 has different holes for OSS, output shaft speed. Sometimes Dakota Digital sells a little box that makes you go, and it converts the signal to 32 or something like that, so that everything works. Cruise, down, your upshift, rev matching, your gear hang to make sure that the shifts are good. Oh, I don't know. I'll ask the builder, whatever. Okay, so come back, give me some logs, and the logs are looking mint because S550 Whipple calibrations are fucking mint. So he goes, hey, by the way, I lost cruise control. And I'm like, you did? I ask him again, do you have a converter box in the car? And he does not answer. He goes, I'm going to find out. But it had cruise control with VMP. I said, okay, so VMP tuned it before when it had a VMP blower. Whipple, he got a Whipple on it, came to us to tune it, and he lost cruise control. So I'm just like, that's odd. So I said, really? Where? He goes, well, I lost cruise control. Listen to this, guys. Listen. I have to say this really closely to the mic so you really understand what I'm saying. He said he lost cruise control in first, second, third, and fourth gears. Fifth and sixth were fine. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't remember the last time I reached for cruise control in any other gear but six. In history, I have never reached for the cruise control buttons in a manual car in any other gear than six. So I went, whoa. What are we talking about? And so I kind of tried to convince him, like, if you got it in fifth and sixth, I don't care. I don't give a shit about first through fourth. Who uses the cruise control in first through fourth gear? Oh, he's like, well, me. And I'm like, well, I'm really not going to go out of my way to do this. I'm just not, you got to widen the gear ratios, which I already did, right? I already widened the gear ratios, so everything should have worked. Whatever. So we finished the pump gas tune because he's going to be on E85. Then all of a sudden he says, hey, I really would like for you to make those things work. And I'm like, you want cruise control ability in all gears? Like, I don't even know if stock Mustangs do it first through fourth. I'm going to see if it does it anything like, I'm going to do it in first and second. And if it's not there, I'm going to laugh. But that's probably a good video to make. So I said, okay. One more time. Do you have an OSS converter box in it? And he says, actually, it's wired directly into the car. Finally, an answer, right? I had asked that previously in the ticket. And I said, so the number of holes for OSS, output shaft speed, is 32 in the tune. And now that you tell me it's wired directly in the car, it's going to be 12. Or something like that, 12 or 14. I think it's 12. I changed that, and he goes, hey, cruise control came back. So, when I say the customer's almost never right, I don't say that as spiteful. I'm just saying that as factual. Simply factual, that the customer a lot of the times leaves out a lot of information, omits information, and it is up to us to do that forensic file, like, we're psychiatrists, we're basically, what do you call them? Psychics. We have to guess shit. We have to take two rods and let them point towards the water. We have to do everything. And you can understand our frustration sometimes when that happens times 80. 80 in a day. 80 times in a day. I probably have to ask 15 or 20 more questions to get all of the info. Now, it is not the fault of the people in the front line getting the order in. It's usually they're changing shit mid shit. They get the tune in. Here's your flex tune for a stock holder intake, stock car. See ya. Oh my God, well, blood, I just got a PMAS intake. Dude, I have to now start from the beginning on pump gas. Oh, but what's the big deal? The big deal is I got to send you a no flex pump gas tune. If you already put E85 in your car, guess what, buddy? run that bitch out on the other tune, and get back to pump gas because you decided to change a part before we were done finishing the first setup. Happens all the time. At the end of the day, when I'm here tuning and I'm done, my head hurts. I get this pressure, right? And I'm just like, now the problem with working at home is you can just like go a room over and pass out. At least when you're working in a location, you can drive and maybe like decompress a little bit. Here, you just like go to sleep. And I'm just like, holy shit. So almost every day, Monday and Tuesday, after I'm done working, my head is throbbing because of the back and forth that had to happen. And I am like laying down, just kind of looking up at the ceiling, just trying to like clear my head. And usually I take a nap and that fucks me up for that night and I'm screwed and blah, blah, blah. So, okay. Enough of the monologue. Let's get to the paid questions and some of the peasant chat. A lot of people seem to be online. 606 people checking in. Badass. Awesome. Let's get going. So, George Figueroa says, you see the badge in the side? That bit of Yodi. Just wanted to hear you say that. You see the badge in the side? That bit of Yodi. I like how people be like, back in the day, Puerto Ricans would look inside your gauge cluster and they go, man, that's a piece of shit, man. It only go 85 miles an hour. My speedometer says 140. My car's faster. Dead serious. I think 85 to 86 Mustangs had a speedo that went up to 85, and like 87 and up, I think they went to 120 or something like that. And then you get the Celine cluster, and they're like, mine says, and then Camaro guys be like, yours only go to 85. Mine go to 120. What you gonna do, man? Your shit stopped to 85, ain't no going no faster. And then mine keep going at 120. Like, you think that's how it works, you shithead? Yes, that's how they thought it worked. Matthew Goodall says, channel support, bitcha. The E85R Lund tune won me $500 against a tuned E85 full bolt-on Gen 2 yesterday. Glad to be able to help you out. Pass some money around to your tuner. Not me, whoever tuned you. You know, throw them some bones. Unless you did that pot shit. $500 pot. So that means like 800 people put in like 85 cents. But congrats, Matthew. Adam Everhart says, 17 Whipple E85 and a 3C converter. Why do I get a dead pedal around 2,000 RPMs, especially in 6th gear, or randomly get that cruising around as well? Now, some of the calibrations, Adam Everhart, depending if it's an older calibration, you will get a bit of a, not a dead pedal. That sounds bad. It's a long pedal, especially with a converter, because now there's nothing going on. It's freewheeling more so than a stock converter. Stock converter, you would be able to feel more of a better driver feedback. A 3C is going to have some inherent slip based on the design of a aftermarket stall converter. So what you're experiencing is a longer pedal so we can lessen the bypass shutting effect. Positive displacement superchargers have a bypass. And the moment the bypass shuts, you feel a sudden surge of power that you didn't expect or anticipate with your foot. So you're like, and you're like, what happened? Well, it hit a certain spot where boost came into play. The vacuum shut. You went from vacuum to boost. Vacuum, the bypass shut, and now you're feeling a surge. So to lessen that slightly, some calibrations have a slightly longer pedal. That's probably what you're feeling. And it's in 6th gear, so who cares, right? Put it in cruise control. Kidding. Not kidding. Arturo Hermosillo, which means he's really pretty, says, what's up, bitcha? Enjoy watching both of your channels. Thank you, Arturo. Danny Monge, or Monge, or Monji, or Monge, says, hey, Alex, I got a 15 naturally aspirated Mustang, tuned by a local dyno and overall runs well. I noticed that the N gauge will sometimes show you the spark goes as high as 40 degrees. Are those numbers reliable, or don't worry? When you're cruising down the street, spark is going to be like 39 to 40. No load, low RPM, 2,500 RPM. A load is like 0.2. Spark will be 40. You know, once you go wide open throttle, the higher the load, the lower the spark. Now, if you're on E85, you'll notice that the higher the load, the spark will go up incrementally. It'll go from like 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It'll go like up like that. But if you're at low load, low RPM, spark can be high and it's not going to be an issue. Ruslan Z gave me $10. Didn't say a damn thing. Actually, he said hello. My favorite type of money. Justin Talley, $5 says, I have a 2012 auto. What would you do mod-wise? Install gears, staying NA 91 Octanium. Very nice. That's nice. So if you put a stock-ass car, right, you can get away with 355s. That's a nice gear for automatic cars, or 331s. And cold air, 18 manifold. It's nice and cheap now. And some headers. And if you can swing it, a little 3C converter action. I'm telling you, that would be an 1190, 1170 car all freaking day. And you will love it. Trust me. Nice and light. Little stall, 355s, little intake action, manifold, and long tube header action. Man, you drive that bitch for 150,000 miles without worrying about shit running 11s. That's a nice little setup in my opinion. Fuel for Fire 87 says, thanks again for the tuning support. Sorry for doubting you about the transmission shifting strategy on my Boss Pro Charged car. No, dude, you're fine, Fuel for Fire. So he had a Pro Charger car and it had a Boss manifold. So what was happening is he was experiencing early shifting. So the issue with people that get Boss, and again, I'm not saying you specifically, Fuel for Fire, but specifically people that get Boss manifolds, they think, I got a Boss manifold. I can rev to 9,000 RPMs. I'm like, no, your cams run the fuck out. Now, he did, I believe, have L&M intake cams. But boosted applications, almost all boosted applications, shift the best and have the best ET at about 75 to 7,600 RPMs. Extending the RPMs out do not seem to gain much ET, and you're that much closer to hitting a hard limiter that we cannot get rid of unless we do some kind of special patching, and that's just not necessary because the ET will not be gained based on that situation. So I said, hey, what are your revs per mile? And he told me it was 750, but I put it at 731 and I bumped up the 1-2 shift, and so far I haven't heard back, but I think he's doing okay. But I told him, get me some logs with some grip. The problem is his car is making 800 something wheel, 805 or 806. And I'm like, that's a lot of power to be on the street with just a regular tire. Even if it's an ET Street SS, it's not enough. You need like a 28-10-5 bad boy so you can stick and get me logs with. But therein lies another issue. If you change tire, shifting strategy will change with that tire. It just has to change each time. Fast Hippo, the peasant chat, said MT82 lawsuit thoughts, not going anywhere. There are a lot more MT82s that last that don't. Mine, for example, lasted 114,000 miles. Cuban Coyotes is still kicking ass. So I don't think, I know those are two examples, but for all the ones that you hear breaking, there's a silent majority that don't break. Guys that just drive normal, don't race, they just drive. So Ford goes, wait a minute. Let's say we have 45,000 Mustangs out there and that are manual, Gen 1 and 2, 11 to 17. And out of those, 2%, you know, what's 2% of 45,000? No, that's not it. There's no way that's it. Oh my God, I'm so fucking stupid when it comes to math, and I'm your tuner, by the way. How you doing? Oh my God, 40. Oh my God, I put 450,000. I can't do that math in my head. Oh Jesus. Oh my God. You know what? Whatever. This thing. The problem is if I fuck with the stream, it starts to go down when I start opening other pages, so I'm not going to go that crazy. If you guys can do the math for me. So let's say 2% of all those transmissions fail. Well, Ford's going to go, well, fuck that. I'm not. Fuck you. You probably stupid hoon drivers that don't know a goddamn thing. But those are the most vocal, right? MT82 song. My trans broke. Barton shifter didn't work. I put a blowjob bracket in the middle. And those are the loudest ones. And Ford's going to go, shut the fuck up. Just like when it comes to the voting public. The ones that are the loudest and hate Trump and all that bullshit, they're loud. They get the attention. But the silent majority is the fucking stadium full of people. So I think that's the same way with the MT82 Mustang transmission. I don't think the lawsuit, 9,000, he said. I don't think someone said, say 8,000, 900. see, you guys suck at math. It says 9,000. Someone's telling me, DJ Smith, oh yeah, do the math real easy. But then he didn't put the actual answer. That's what I put in there, DJ. And I'm like, I'm looking at the answer. I'm like, that don't make no sense. So basically, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. The lawsuit's bullshit, bunkus, doesn't matter. Learn to fucking drive, and if it breaks, get a T56 in there or a Ben Calimer built MT82, and shut up. Nobody said Here's $10 for channel support. I love it. Thank you, nobody. Root Beer says, I'm going to get the diff temp from the CAN bus to the N gauge. How would I do that? Right now, I have to use Forescan for my phone, and I have a 17 GT PP. I only think it comes up on the center display. So unless you can get a CAN signal down to the OBD2 port from the body control module, I think that's the only way you're going to do it. Why do you want it on your N gauge when you can stare at it right in front of you in your heads-up display? I don't get that. F150S550 says, Taco Tuesday, lunch money and channel support. Also, what's your opinion on swapping rotating assembly in my garage? I know you're not an engine builder, but I'm going to go forge internals to hold power. Yeah, I mean, if you can get a crank and all, get the right, obviously, if you can get a nice rotating assembly, new crank, Manly rods and Maul piston or Molly or Diamond or whatever, whoever you choose, and do a nice little rod and piston upgrade a la the Red Cars motor, a la the Fairmont motor, which is just a rods and piston sleeve block. It wasn't put together by a professional shop or nothing. It was put together by a guy named Mike at VMP, and knock on wood, the thing's still kicking ass. So that's a nice upgrade. And then if you still on the stock sleeves, I think that motor can take 900, 950 like all day until the sleeves start to crap out, meaning warp and distort and crack. El Coyote says, channel support cutie. Wow, gay. I love it. Love the gayness. Oh my God. Holy crap. Everyone just like, oh, here we go. Thanks for the tune on my 2012 GT, says Fat But Fast. With the Department of Boost, VMP Gen 3R runs amazing, and you helped me figure out the few issues. Pleasure to work with. I think he has a GT. I thought he had a Boss 302. There was a guy that had a Department of Boost kit on a Boss 302. It kept stalling, and you know how much idle air I had to give that sucker to keep it from stalling? It was kind of daunting, but we got it figured out. It wasn't an RPM issue. It was just, those things where the MAF signal was just like, it's not the best, and it spark went a little low based on IAT, so we had to clip spark and a lot of idle air, and it was happy. Charles Mathis said, I got my ultimate headers in yesterday. Absolutely beautiful craftsmanship on them. Exactly, guys. Ultimate header. If you're going to keep your Mustang a long freaking time and you want the best made headers around, can't beat ultimate header. Unreal craftsmanship. Real great welds. Great, just everything. There's no pinching. Everything is pie cut and it retains the diameter for ultimate flow. Very, very good stuff. Glad you're happy, Charles. Christopher Ordner says, I purchased a 19 Petty's Garage Mustang GT. Why'd you do that? Love you, Christopher, but you probably paid too much money for like a blue and orange Mustang. Everything stock but TVS 2650 Utterbox Supercharger. Axle and suspension. Should my next mod be headers or E85 upgrade? A tune. Honestly, if you don't have an aftermarket tune in that thing, the best thing you can do to that car, if it doesn't have already a 103 millimeter throttle body and a 113 cold air, that should be your next step, actually getting air in it. You should do induction and exhaust. That is going to absolutely change everything about the car in conjunction with an aftermarket tune, Christopher. Congrats on the car. I mean, they're cool cars, but man, they're a little pricey for basically a GT, in my opinion. Blah221 says, hey, brother, just got an 18 GT 10-speed auto, and guess what? The clutch and the transmission seized up. Is this common? Ford's going to take it apart and see where it goes from there. No, the clutch should not fail, but I have seen them fail. Look, it's a mechanical part. I have seen them fail. I've seen some 10R80s fail stock. Like the lead frame goes to shit. They have to like reprogram it or just replace the transmission altogether. So it is not common. Mine broke the shift forks, which was infamously caught on video. I thought it was kind of cool that I caught it on video. And then I traded the car in, but I got it replaced, and I got put into a 19 from Ford. It was awesome from them. Blah 221. Derek M says, channel support. I don't have a question tonight, so paying it forward to the next person to ask a question in the peasant chat after this. Much respect, Derek M. I'm going to go right to the peasant chat and go. Andrew Howard, just got my 17 tuned by you guys again and has an 18 manifold and LU47s on E85 this time around. Runs like a dream. One more. Choppy Light says 2% of 45,000 is 900. Perfect. So if Ford sees 900 transmissions fail out of 45,000, they're not gonna give a shit. They're gonna say there's 900 shit-ass drivers out there. That's how they're gonna look at it. It's a numbers game. But thank you, Derek, for doing that, for paying it forward for the next two guys in the peasant chat. Tyler Gray says, channel support, bitcha. I'm a truck driver. It's hard to catch you live. I have a built motor turbo 18 EcoBoost Mustang. Sorry. 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 You paid me. Now I'm laughing at your expense. I apologize. So I can't even say the question. Big turbo Mustang on the 85 making 622 wheel horsepower. I broke first and second gears in the MT82. What do you recommend to do from there? Well, if the motor is still kicking, dude, I get it. I'd get a T56. I'd get a T56, or if you can swing it, get a Ben Calamer built MT82. But the problem is, you said you have a 2018, so I don't know if the MT82 from the Ben Calamer has access to the 11 to 17s or a direct fit. You might need to change your clutch. You might need to change a bunch of things. Honestly, if you broke first and second gears, I would get a T56 in that thing. I mean, I wouldn't fuck around. You're making 622 wheel on a 4-cylinder car. I am surprised your block did not split in half, to be quite honest. But if you're making that kind of power and you're racing the car, which apparently you are, get a badass transmission in there. Or you can just play throw another stock one in their game and hope the gears last, which I don't think they will, honestly. Or can you get an 18 Mustang trans in there? 18 MT82 from a Mustang? I wonder if they're that much different. I'm not 100% Tyler Gray. T. Heltzer says, hey, sir, I used your clutch technique at the track and launched at 3K. Car fell on its face. Traction control off, 19 GT manual car. More RPM at launch? Yes, T. Heltzer. More RPM at launch. I used to do it at about 4,500 to 5,000. Doing a Gen 3 swap in a Fox body, running return fuel system with 2 340 pumps. I want to run the 85. I should have both pumps running at all times and keep up with the great videos. I would run 2 pumps constant all the time because I don't want to rely on a Hob switch that might be mounted somewhere a little firm and it rattles and kicks the second pump on, off intermittently. I just run 2 pumps constant if it's a return style fuel system. Thank you, Renner 595959. Diaz ADGT says, why do you need a tune with long tube headers? If it's a stock Mustang, meaning you got a bone stock Mustang and you throw headers in it and without a tune, the transport delay is going to be fucked up, meaning that the positioning of the O2s go from up here, the front O2s. And again, everybody, do not delete your O2s. There have been so many people that delete their front O2s and put in an aftermarket wideband in one of the bungs. I'm like, what? They're both widebands. What are you doing? You have a display on your dash. Dude, I have no idea. People just like gauges. They love staring at 15, like Kit from Knight Rider. All the fucking gauge. Turbo boost! Ejectocito, cuz! I mean, it was just insane how many gauges were in that car. People are still in that bullshit game of shoving AEM UAGOs in 15 Mustangs. I'm like, really, guys? Really? You have a heads-up display that tells you your air-fuel ratio right integrated into your dash. Anyway, the long tube headers have a different transport delay. It moves the O2s from here to down here, and the stock tune might be anticipating a certain air sampling, and it's not happening fast enough. So it's going, there's a delay. There is a delay that we're not anticipating in the tune. Now, the other thing is, when you put long tube headers on a car, look, the car is a vacuum. The motor is a vacuum pump. Sucks in air, blows it out. That's all it does. So if you have an aftermarket tune like from Lund Racing, and I tell you, hey man, like 11 to 17 specifically, if you're like, hey, I'm going to install free flowing exhaust, do I need a tune? I'm like, no. And they go, why not? I'm like, because the math takes care of it. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah. Because let's say you're drawing air in and the math is here. Right? And we scaled the math. That's why we say to do idle, slow rev, and a wide open throttle pull. And the math curve looks like a nice little curvature in the tune. It goes whoop. So when you add long tube headers to it down here, now the airflow is going to increase through the engine. And the mass airflow sensor takes care of that. It is scaled. What we ask is say, log it, make sure the log looks good. And if the log looks good, see ya. If the car needs a little fuel, which is almost never, we'll adjust it. But 9 times out of 10, you don't need anything. Hopefully that answers some of your questions and questions that you probably didn't know you wanted to ask, but were answered in that statement. Fastlane Allen says, hey, I've been watching you for a year now, ever since I got my S550. And I'd like to get sponsored by a couple of companies, and I have good following on IG and starting on YouTube. Any advice? Also, keep up the great content. So I didn't start getting any sponsorship, Fastlane Allen, until I had a big following, right? The YOLO douchebag page had 80-something thousand. Instagram, I didn't give a fuck about because I don't think Instagram directly at the time correlated to parts selling, but now it is pretty, dominant in that field. So I think that you need to get your shit up. Get your game up. Tony for Bolton, checking in. So get your game up, like way high, because I think you're gonna have to tell them, look, I really want to run your stuff. I think it's great. Just to give you a heads up, because they used to make fun of this. Manufacturers and people that work in companies would say, "What an asshole! That guy says he has 25,000 Instagram followers. Like that fucking matters." Actually, it matters. Because if he has an issue and he can blast a company, he holds that power. And a lot of people go, that's bullshit. They shouldn't have that power. Well, why not? I'm okay with the consumer having checks and balances on companies. So now, the first sponsor I got ever was a cold air manufacturer, PMAS. First sponsor ever, PMAS. Now, I was like, damn, I don't know anything about this shit, bitch. I don't know what's going on. But once I put it on and I worked with Nick James a lot, I said, so this math curve, you provided me a math curve? He goes, yeah, I provided you a paper that has data that if you convert it, it's a math curve. And I put it in the tune and it just worked. So then I said, guys, this shit just works because I could see that in the tune it works. So the people that followed me all of a sudden started using that shit. PMAS. Not that I'm the main driver, but I was one of the first guys that had a PMAS cold air intake on my car. Then people like, now lately, MFP Australia, they were very good about helping me out, providing stuff. They provided pulleys, they provided a crank support, they provided a lower intercooler, and their name. And then I brought them over to VMP. Now, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I don't know if they have a good relationship or not. But when I worked at VMP, I said, hey, VMP, there's this company in Australia that's doing kind of nice shit. And so basically what I'm saying is, to whittle it down is, if you have a big social media gathering already or social media audience, you can then say, hey, manufacturer, not that this is much, but I got 50,000. I only have 18,000 on Instagram. And on the Facebook shit, I don't even use. YouTube is my main money earner, and this is where I stick. So I just use those two to funnel everybody to YouTube where I get paid. So get your game way up. Post 2 times a day, dumb shit, do all the dumb hashtagging, get your shit way up. And then really start making waves out there. Race the car. Don't just show it off at car shows. Race the car. Beat it up. Get credibility. And then more than likely, people will come after you. Now, it is very hard to stand out in this game. Everyone and their mother has a fucking camera and an Instagram account and ass on hoods. I guess I was racing it more and had kind of a personality attached with it. So people were more sponsoring me than my car. So hopefully that'll help you out a little bit in your future. But I think you got to get your social media game way up before you start getting looked at by anyone. Okay, Eric York says nothing and gave me $15. God damn, thank you very much. 707 people, 710? Wow, very nice. Just make sure you guys share the shit. So hopefully we get about 900 in here. That'd be cool if I get like 1,000 viewers at one point ever. I don't think at any point I've ever gotten 1,000 viewers. IG Joe 2192 says, Alex, I'm planning on a Gen 2 Coyote swap manual. What are some things to be aware of during the install that will make life easier for you guys when I need a tune? Cold air placement is by far the most critical component of any Coyote swap. A lot of people just grab any run-of-the-mill cold air intake and just shove it right in front of the fan and they're like, tune it, tuner. I'm like, that's not how it works, like at all. Like you absolutely need to get that shielded or mimic it to as close as stock as possible. In terms of shielding, the mass airflow sensor having turbulent air is the biggest critical component of how the vehicle drives based on my last video. By the way, for those of you that saw my last video and gave me a thumbs up on the intro, thank you very much. I'm trying little things with songs and copyrighted music. If you guys know any SoundCloud artists that don't charge for their music, I'd love to take a peek at them and use them, whatever. So basically, that's going to be the biggest thing in my opinion. And get a badass control pack, like an actual control pack from Ford Racing. Don't send your stock Mustang harness out to some guy that repins it and shit and whittles it down to something, then hands it back to you and it doesn't work. It is just going to, trust me, get a Ford Racing control pack, get the cold air placed somewhere nicely. Don't make the exhaust something stupid. Make it as close and to mimic something as stock for that generation as possible. The tuning is a lot easier. Jason Friedberg says, I'd love to be a fly in the wall to see the crazy questions you guys get asked each day at work. I'm still waiting on my fuel tank tune. Oh, your fuel drain tune? It's pretty funny, and we have to stay quiet because we don't want that getting out that, we're talking shit or anything like that. So we got to be careful. We literally have to be careful. Kyle Elliott says, getting my 2012 GT500 motor by Keith from Wonder Racing, and it's going to be paired up with a Whipple 3.8. Going to be 11-1. Woo-wee! Cammed as well. I already have a VMP heat exchanger. Any other cooling mods you recommend? Lund for the win. You can get that intercooler mod. I forget what it's called for GT500. Some gay shit. It's like... I don't know. Doesn't Kenny Bell sell like intercooler brick upgrades for them shits? I mean, get anything and everything. Because you're going to be making all the heat on the planet. And yeah, get an ice tank as well eventually, because if you're going to race that sucker down the track, get ready for 150 to 160 IATs guaranteed. It's just going to happen, period. 3.8 flows a lot of air. There's no real way of cooling that fucker down, because you're going through basically the stock lower. So you got to upgrade the lower intercooler. Port that sucker too. Get some air in there. That'll probably give you the best shot of keeping it semi-cool. Bias Flyer radial for roll racing. Probably a radial. You're already rolling. I think a bias ply's biggest, actually depends on how much power your bitch makes. Because if you're rolling and you fucking have like a TVS on a lot of boost, it's going to feel like a dig and it's going to act the same. See, the thing is with a slick, you can recover. You can pedal a slick. Not a lot, but you can pedal a slick. The drag radial, the moment you lose traction, you're done. There is no recovery. You're done. Whereas a slick, you can roll into it and it wads up a little. And yeah, it's a little sketchy, but you see, that's where those no prep guys like, they're constantly, if they did it with a radial, it'd go whoop, and they would never get back on the gas. No way. Fernando Ariza says, what's up, way? Channel support for here, a la verga. Fernando Arraiza. Pragmatic Lunatic says, what's up, brother? I've been paying attention to my fuel trims while NA Lund Cam Lope E85 tune. I don't know why. Fuck the fuel trims on the Cam Lope tune. They're probably shit. Long terms are hanging out -11, but short terms are +4. Anything to worry about? So that means you're 5% off, right? The sum of the two is 4 or 6 or 5, depending. So no, nothing to worry about, brother. You take the long trims and multiply them or add them. Yeah, you subtract them from the short trims. So if your long trims are 1.1 and your short trims are 0.9, that means your fueling correction's on the money. Oh, what do you mean? That's weird math. It's Common Core math. I just picked up a modular 5.0 Lexus ISF, a daily to match Coyote Swap 4-wire. Think Lund can tune it? Absolutely not. Alfredo Diaz, you can take that shit to some Toyota guy. Love ya. We're not touching an ISF. That bitch slow as fuck anyway. Good looking car though. Beautiful car. Justin Talley says, would you not do 18 manifold 5C and 373? 5C? For a daily? No, but for a, like on my car, on the red car, yeah, I have a GT250 intake manifold. I'm going to be looking for like a 5C and I'm going to put 373s in the red car and we'll see how that sucker goes. But that's what I'm looking to do. But it's not going to be a daily. That would suck as a daily. Mike Caparelli gave me Canadian money and said, sup, bitcha? Sweet new intro into your vids. Looking nice and YouTube-y. Yeah, I'm trying algorithmically to make some videos do something. Look, I got to try something. And I had a subject matter to talk about. And I said, I have so many fucking videos. I can compile little clips and make a dumb little intro on. I just need to probably have someone professional do it. I'll say, look, these are the clips I'm thinking of. This is what I want to do. I want an in and out music that's not copyrighted and send it. But I don't know anyone that's willing to do that for reasonable money and that I trust, right? You give money to somebody, you hope the product is good, but you want to be able to work with someone. I just do it myself. And if it's kind of jank, at least I could say I did it. I can't blame anyone else for it. But thank you, Mike Caprelli. 5 Slow says, I bought some used 1050Xs for 85 and I took them for injector cleaning and was told they're not good for E85 24/7 because he gunks up the injectors. Thoughts? Wherever you took those injectors to get cleaned at and they told you that, you can leave, take your shit back and go anywhere else because that is just dumb. Any injector that you're literally going to just leave sitting like for weeks on end, you might have issues, right? But the 1050X out of all the injectors, Out of all the injectors that ID makes under, the 1700, under the 1300, supposedly that one has the stainless internals that is less likely to have issues on the 85. I repeat, guys, been on the 85 for 5 years. Knock on wood. I've never had an injector issue. That bitch just boom, starts because I drive my cars all the time. Plain and simple. And I test my fuel all the time. And I don't live in a cold weather environment. So that bitch is 80 degrees outside minimum. And the E85 is always rolling through those injectors because I'm driving the cars. 5 slow. Michael Colindre says, you gotta do 45,000 times 0.02 when looking for percent. I did, and it was all fucked up. Like, no, it's not that I didn't do it right. I saw the computer started fucking up, and I have this thing called OBS, and the stream started. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna fuck with this. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I have to stay on these 2 pages to make sure that the stream doesn't go dead, because last week or the week before, it went dead for like 10 minutes, and a lot of people were pissed off because they paid and didn't get their questions answered, and I didn't know until later. Channel support, Mr. Jimmy Jam says, I'm going to be putting the finishing touches on my Raptor swapped F-150. I was looking to boost for more power off-road. What supercharger would you recommend on a Gen 1 Coyote? I like the Roush blowers. I like the VMP blowers. I like the Whipple blowers. I like any blower on a Gen 1. Just keep it at about 10 PSI on pump gas. You're going to be real happy. In a truck, in my opinion, you want a TVS. You need that instant, let's go, let's get moving, let's go. So in my opinion, a VMP Gen 2R is more than enough for that truck, or Edelbrock 2650 if they have it, or a 2300, believe it or not, Edelbrock would work in that setup, or a Gen 2 Roush blower would be pretty baller. Brandon Hunley says, dumb question, cars on E85 at the moment, E85R tune at the moment. Could I run Ignite E90 during the track days and be a little safer, or is it not even worth it? Dude, it's fine. Oh my God, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's going to be fine. So, Ignite, fucking ethanol 1R, C85, anything that's 85 or has a stoic of 9.85, you can just tune it. You can just put it on the car. You're not going to get more timing from Ignite 118, pink than from 85% tested pump ethanol. It's just less gunky. The 15% has less shit. It doesn't have chocolate milk. It probably has some race gas, some better additives, and it is more quote unquote pure. But 85% ethanol from a pump is going to perform well. The Fairmont has never been on anything but 85 from a pump. Believe it or not, at Texas 2K is when I used ethanol 1R, and I had other issues that had nothing to do with the fuel, but I never could test a good back-to-back scenario as to ethanol 1R over pump E85. I had racetrack pump, racetrack gas station, pump E85. Cuban Coyote says, man, you killed me with that. Most Cubans are named use Navy. And it's true, because what happened was when a lot of Cubans were leaving Cuba, and they got rescued by the U.S. Navy, they started naming all their kids U.S. Navy. U.S. Navy, Jaziel, Juice Nalio, Juice Amarendo, Juice Coast Guard, USS Enterprise. You should listen to these fucking names of the Cubans out in Miami. Oh, what's your name? Oh, me llamo USS Enterprise. It's like remember the show V? And a bunch of aliens. This was in the 90s, so I'm old. A bunch of aliens just like crash landed in the U.S. and they're all they now live amongst us. It's normal, and they got these weird fucking heads. And this cop, one of them was a cop, and this cop's like, I don't want to get paired with the fucking alien. God damn it. And they're like, hey, what's your name? He goes, my name's Stan. The alien says, my name's Stan. He goes, Stan? He goes, yeah, Stan Francisco. But anyway, Cuban Coyote, loving the car so far. Just wanted to be able to do some digs. Hopefully my MT82 will hold up. I hope so. Dakotas went kaboom once it saw 900 wheel. Chris Plastic says, hey, Alex, I have a 14 GT with a free-flowing exhaust, and I'm looking to add different manifold. Does the ported 18 really match performance of the Cobra Jet? No. It does as good as the Cobra Jet at the same RPM. The problem is, in my opinion, the Cobra Jet is a max effort manifold. I'm saying cams, ported heads, If you're not going to install cams, if you're not going to do any extra work, 18 manifold or a Boss intake manifold will do just fine, sir. Wow, there's a lot of people in the pay chat. Holy shit. Taquache Nation coming in strong today. Mariachi music fading in the background. Channel support YDBT. David Jaffrey. Mike Hughes says, will the flex fuel tune provide any gains for a 6R80 with the 4 performance power pack 2? Yeah, okay, the flex fuel tune on its own, no. The fuel you couple it with, yes. God damn it, Forbidden Concepts has put the same question up 15 fucking times, so I'm going to answer it. Alex, ever have an issue with alcohol content not being read? Always read 9.8. Because you're probably on pump gas, right? Are you on pump gas? Are you on pump gas? If it reads 9.8, it's reading alcohol. So if you're on 9.8, that means it's pump gas because pump gas is 10% ethanol everywhere. Hopefully that helps. Peasant chap, chiming in. But Mike Hughes, no, on its own, the flex fuel tune will not make more power than a pump gas tune and not make much of a difference probably over the 4 performance pack 2 tune or setup. But if you put 85% ethanol in the flex fuel tune and it learns 85%, it's going to see good timing. Channel support in Justin Trudeau's broke ass currency. Dude, Canadians, I love how I saw some of these memes. They're like, Canadians must feel like they're living in an apartment above a meth house. Guess what, guys? Fuck Canada. It is way worse to live in Canada than the current riots and bullshit that's going on right now in the U.S. I will take the U.S. rioting and having crazy shit happening any day than to live in Massachusetts, California, or Canada. No fucking way. I'm sorry, certain parts of California, because I have lately come to know that there are some awesome places in California that are right-leaning and people are kind of with it. They just happen to be stuck in the same state as a bunch of assholes. But yeah, thank you. Pegelos GT California Special. Matthew Goodall says, here's some money for the guy that with the built EcoBoost. I felt bad for him because I laughed because the moment I see built EcoBoost Mustang, I lose it because I'm like, wow, this guy's all about that life. So he basically has a super built engine, big turbo, probably aftermarket fuel injection, meaning like a meth or a auxiliary injector kit running with that micro squirt, and it makes the same power as a pump gas Roush TVS car. And I'm like, damn, you chose wrong. You chose wrong. Denny Lee retracted a statement and gave me $5. Badass shit. Ruslan Z back again says 6-speed, 650 horse, Paxton S197 with 373s. Should I go 55s or 31? I play on the street, Gavin Pro Chargers, 331, sir. 355s will be good, but I like a 331. That is a nice, actually, wait. 6-speed. He says 6-speed, and that pisses me off because I think everyone thinks that's manual, but the 6R80 is 6-speed. So, Ruslan, I'm assuming it's a manual 355s. 355s if you're roll racing with a Paxton. What's the most overkill in a good way setup you have seen come across so far? David Jaffrey. Overkill in a good way? I saw a guy get a return style fuel system, twin turbos, built trans, built rear, axles, drive shaft, air to air, and stay on pump gas. He's like, I'm not looking for power. I just want to be safe. I'm like, you are safe. This bitch is safe. Like, built motor, twin turbo, return style, and I'm like, oh, we're going to move to 85. He goes, no, we're good. We're done. Made 650. I'm good. I'm like, what? Damn. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, I can't judge. I'm like, I said, if you ever want to make 1,000, it's available. So David Jaffrey, that's what it was. Leave it to Beaner says, here's $5 because you have everything. I can't home. You got everything, Carlito. I got nothing. I love you. Leave it to Beaner. God damn it. I love you with the Carlitos Way references. You are speaking my language. Carlito, man, just like the good old times. Stand-up people like me and you. Stand-up people, huh? The Kleinfeld put you up to this? And the DA got a hard on for you, Carlito. It wasn't even on, Carlito. It wasn't even on. I was going to give you the sign. I was giving you the signal. Check it out. There we go. Thank you for that. I needed that. Turbocharger gave me $1. Badass. Then he gave me $2 and gave me a thumbs up. Awesome. Scott N says, channel support, betcha. Holy shit. The paycheck. Fastlane Allen says, thank you so much, man, with a brown thumbs up. I wonder why. Easiest and most safe way to make 600 horsepower Gen 1. I'm telling you, any Paxton blower, any TVS, any Whipple, 9 to 10 PSI, pump gas will get you there. No problem, sir. It's just a matter of how you want the power to come in. Want a constant pull, long high RPM pull, Paxton, ProCharger, Vortec. You want grunt down low, a lot of it, TVS. You want not so much down low, but have a good mid-range, a good top end, a Whipple front feed 2.9, Gen 3 would be my choice. Not a Gen 5. Gen 5's badass, but Gen 3's plenty. Youthful Alpaca gave me $20 and he says, hey, I got a 14 MTD2 track pack in an auction for $7K with 50,000 miles. No deployed airbags, no engine damage. It only has quarter panel damage. In total, will come out to be around $11K. What do you think? Was it a good deal? Absolutely, sir. Very good deal. Like if I was to sell this Mustang right here, 30,000 miles, auto premium, premium sound, leather, all of it, everything. I wouldn't ask more than $23,000 for it. No fucking way. It's got a little bit of an engine tick, but we all know that's documented. It's got an engine tick, but it's rolling, make good power. I wouldn't ask for any more than $23,000 for that car. And once I get it running the number I want it to, it's gone. I say that, but we'll see. Depends how the channel's growing. Kyle Elliott says, Whipple 3.8, not a Ken Bell. Ha ha. Oh, yes. Well, I thought it was a Whipple 3. I'm sorry if I said Ken Bell, but they make heat anyway because you're shoving air in. You understand? More air you shove in, it gets hot. Period. It's just nothing you can do about it. But I'm telling you, you need to get all the cooling mods on the planet. But when I said Ken Bell, I said the Ken Bell lower brick upgrade. The lower intercooler brick, I think Kenny Bell makes like a big gun, a big dick, or big balls, or big nuts, whatever the fuck they make. Tav, $10, said, Alex, I bought my first car and it's 16. It's a Fusion Sport with 2.7. I asked Lon if they can tune it and they said no. Reason because they can tune F-150s with them. They can tune it. If they said no, any reason why? Because they can tune F-150s with them. So it's about the strategy, Tav, T-A-V. We need one in person. We need to see what strategy they're using. And we need to see if even SET or Cobb, or we don't do Cobb shit. So we'd have to see what tuning company supports that strategy. So once we figure that out, and then Tav, unfortunately, we've never had anyone ask for a 2.7 Fusion tune. Just like we don't really get SHO owners hitting us up for tunes. So it's all about volume and is it worth our while? Is it worth our while to have Junior or one of us vet the tune for a week to then get what? 3 orders out of it? Probably not. Mustang, F-150, all freaking day. One Slow 7 gave me $5 and he said nothing. Very clever. Louis Lara says, S197 E85 seat, a cold air intake, 18 manual cat deletes. I installed the 5C converter and it's picking up some knock from a dig, but none from a roll. I'll be sending logs right now, but should I check? False. Honestly, if it's low load, low RPM, I'd probably just kill the knock sensor down there. It ain't detonation. It's probably some dumb vibration that it's just picking up resonance. Denny Lee says, I threw a question up in the peasant chat. If you could find it, try to answer it, please. Are you insane? Have you seen the peasant chat? I'm going to show you what the peasant chat looks like real quick. Are you fucking insane? You want me to scroll through all that shit? No fucking way. Love ya. You should have asked it right then and there when you paid. Unless he was kidding. But then that's pretty funny. 3-valve Eric has front feet balls. Gave me $10 and said, other than blowing it up or pushing it off a cliff, what's the best thing I can do to improve my 60 foot on my 3-valve suspension wise? So 3 valves, it's an S197. So you're going to treat it the same as anything 05 to 14. All the big 3 make, suspension upgrades from Steeda, BMR. Actually, Maximum Motorsports also makes drop brackets and control arms for it. UPR makes I had all UPR stuff in my car. UPR anti-roll bar, UPR lowers, UPR upper, and I had AFCOs for shocks. And that bitch was 60 foot and real nice. I had Ford Racing springs in the rear, stock springs in the front, cut. And that thing 60 footed great. 3-valve Eric has front peep balls. Hopefully that helps. it's all about planting the rear tire, getting a little separation back there, and making sure you get the right bar angle in the back, or the right angle, making sure that the control arm is going downhill towards the back of the car. And that's why the drop brackets are there. And when you lower your vehicle, that also helps with instant center, I think, what they fucking say. I'm not a suspension fag, so who cares? Ooh, I might get booted for saying fag. It's a bundle of sticks. That 50 says, what's the max horsepower you can get out of a Paxton on a Gen 1 with all the supporting mods? Boost pump, lock, da. Look, man, your limiting factor on a Gen 1 is your rods. Your limiting factor on a Gen 1 is the rods. At 700 horsepower, bing, they make windows, and you got to go to Ross or whatever the fuck and buy some curtains for your block. I'm telling you, it's going to window the fucking block, plain and simple. So if I were you, I'd keep it at 650 to low 700s because it'll do that. No problem on pump gas. Denny Lee paid me again to look in the peasant chat. He said, I meant peasant. So instead of actually asking the question when he paid twice, he actually paid to correct himself so I can look in the peasant chat. That's not going to happen. Love you. Not going to happen. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Tiny Teens 4K. What the fuck kind of name is that? Cheaper to build a Gen 1 or buy a Gen 2 short block? Buy a Gen 2 short block. It's cheaper to buy a Gen 2 short block if you can find them. Mod Motor Ray says, hey, Alex, what's a good 60 foot for a stick car S550? I'm hitting 1.7s and 1.8s on an ET Street R. Car suspension is almost done. I need Viking shocks, motors, everything done it without going into it yet. Heads, cams soon. 1.6 is pretty damn good. 1.5 stick is excellent. Anything sub 1.5, you are doing great. Seriously, that's what I think. 1.6s is good. 1.5s is excellent. Anything under 1.5 is spectacular. Enjoy the chat and the live stream. Wish I could have live streams like yours. Keep up the awesome information coming. Thank you very much. George, love speed. And we have a new guy dropping his balls on the chat. I don't know who you are, Carson Little, but he didn't say a goddamn thing. He just gave me money and dropped balls on the peasants. He dropped balls on the paid. Now Kyle has a competitor. Carson has entered the chat. So thank you very much. Everyone's like, who the fuck is this? I don't know who you are, but I appreciate you very much. Wow. Crazy. Matt 760, who got a 2020, right? Matt 760, who got a 2020 Mustang. I gave him the same fucking tune that was in his old car. And he said it is rolling out and he's making some money. He's out there busting ass. Car's running good. And when Matt 760's tune came across the queue, I was like, man, no one has given more NA customers to us in recent memory, more than Matt 760. So I was like, what do you want, Matt? Sure, buddy. What do you need? You need 700 fucking tunes for the cold air intake? Here you go. You want a stock cold air intake tune? Here you go. You want torque? You want 58 degrees? Here you go, buddy, because he brings customers to the house. So I appreciate you very much. He says, picking up some pizza for the fam. Here's some dough. Thank you. Timothy Fush says, channel support, Alex. I can't wait to get that Vortex installed in my 2019. Looking forward to the tune. Non-driving mofo. Gonna need that manual mode. I got you, brother. Not a problem. I'm almost making that like available on all the cows. Here, fuck it. Because guys, the shift schedule in drive shifts better at wide open throttle. But for some reason, people just want to be in sport mode and let it shift automatically. I'm like, it's a sport shift schedule. It's not as good as the drive shift schedule. But that's okay. Ruslan Z says, yes, MT82. And I forgot his first question. Ezekiel Palacios didn't say a damn thing. Gave me $5. Jason Stark says, speaking on the bare blocks, minus rotating assembly, and special sleeves, is there any real difference between the 3-gen? I've been told multiple times there's a big difference. There is. If you're going to build a motor, in my opinion, you're going to build it off a Gen 1. The red car has a Gen 1 block from Ben Calamar that I bought. We sent it off to L&M to get sleeved. Came back, put in a Molly Manly package with a stock 15 crank, and it has supposedly bigger studs and deeper threads, Gen 1. So in my opinion, that means nothing because I don't know shit about engine building. If you're going to build a block, an engine, you base it off of the Gen 1 block. Brandon Hunley says, thanks for the info. Now that tracks are opening, think we will see stick shift guys getting into the low sevens to compete with the T56 and GM guys. Oh, you mean like Minion and all those guys? Dude, that fucking Supra from Gayness Racing went 690. Fuck. That's a T56. Now, remember, guys, those guys at that level, those transmissions need maintenance. I mean, they're probably doing clutch adjustments on all the time. There's constant checking. Input shafts must be made of fucking unobtainium, like unreal parts. And the black magic clutches and all the technology that's really coming out with these stick shift guys, it is so desirable to get into that game. But I am a broke motherfucker. And look, if I had no other cars, this sounds stupid, but if I had no other cars, I still don't think I can afford one badass stick shift car. I just don't think I could do it because I like driving my cars often. Now, the Minion goes out there and does True Street and then runs 7-second quarter miles. Sick as fuck. I just don't have in me to build a full-out race car that's stick because I just know what it takes to keep that sucker on the track. It's a lot of work. Big respect to the stick shift racers out there. Big respect. Yeah, I don't think the Ford guys will be in the low sevens anytime soon unless Minion gets like a Coyote in there. No offense, I love you. You got to get a Coyote in there. Some badass, stupid Coyote in that thing. True Magnaflow X-Pipe or Pipes X-Pipe, Fortune GT. Anything not pipes is going to be better than anything pipes, EMTM. Full Auto GT says, what's the most timing Lund can add to an NA18 free-flowing exhaust stock cold air intake before requiring signing a waiver? That'd be great info and entertainment. No, there is no waiver. We know based on all of our testing, based on a video I made on my 18 manual Mustang, go check it out. It's called the timing test on E85. The car picked up a whopping 2 or maybe 4 horsepower from 28 degrees to 33 degrees, guys. Not worth it. Just not worth it to stress out your shit for 4 horse. And that's like within the variable that the dyno can do back to back. So it probably didn't pick up shit. Will Firth says, thoughts on running a universal filter on a Paxton Vortec head unit directly versus the whole intake. Seen people run it, but not sure if it's beneficial. It's going to make more power. I mean, think about it. You're going to have the air running right to the front of the blower as opposed to from the left to the right, then a 90-degree turn, then to the front of the blower. It's going to make more power. I just hope nothing gets sucked into that son of a bitch because now it's sucking right from a filter that's in front of it. So as long as it doesn't self-destruct and suck itself into the bitch, I think it'll be okay. It'll just make more power. Carson Little gave me $2 and said goddamn thing. Kona Blue Balls Coyote, $5 said channel support and Lund for the win with the devil horns. Oh my God. Kyle Brandon comes in and the fuck is going on, guys? Do the 6F converter on the red car. I'm quite pleased with mine. You know what? That's not a thank you for that. I think you basically have paid for a converter. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that based on whatever you say, Kyle. Honestly, whatever you say at this point. So I'm going to call Circle D. I'm going to say, hey, Kyle has given me like $1,800 already. So he's buying me a converter. My sugar daddy is buying me a converter. Thank you, Kyle Brandon. I'll check it out. 6F for sure. I think that's what Robert Ball has in his car. And it seems to really work. Alex has spent that Kyle Brandon money on the red car. Yonze50. You ain't kidding. It's happening. Trust me. I'll probably just buy a house. I'm probably just going to buy a house. And then I'll start fucking with the red car. Unreal. Hey, Becho, Puerto Rico en la casa, some channel support, PPR 776. Carson Little gave me $100. I mentioned that before. Didn't say a damn thing. Brian Geisler says, Alex, I've got a Gen 1 balls, penis, cunt. How much power am I making? What are your thoughts? Exactly, Brian Geisler. $5. And I don't know what the fuck he's saying. Maro FV says, cylinder 2 misfire. I cleaned the ejectors, the new plugs, the coils. I checked the manifold, all good. FFE, E85, JLT, P302, P316, P300, Lund tune. Not blaming tune. Maro, have you done a crank relearn yet? Have you done a crank relearn yet in that car? Have you changed the coil pack from that cylinder to another one and see if the misfire follows it? That's probably your next 2 steps. Crank relearn and swap out the coil packs bank to bank and see if the misfire follows it. Andrew Hanlon, probably Bob Hanlon's son, says, hey, Alexander from Hanlon. Holy shit. That's about pretty good. He said, Andrew Hanlon says, because look, a lot of you old school guys, I'm 42. This beard is getting white as fuck, and I'm looking old, so I'm gonna probably keep it trim as fuck. Bob Hanlon, back in the day, when you wanted this stick shift shit, that was the dude. That was like the dude. And he had this pace car, 9-second stick shift, 79 pace car. That was a, I'm like, god damn it, my dick. It was just unreal seeing it go down the track. So Andrew says, hey, Alex, Andrew from Hanlon Motorsports, let me know if you need anything 5 and 6 manual related. Want to get you to tune our NMRA factory stock car. Hey, Andrew Hanlon, we're all interested for sure. If you hit us up at support@lundracing.com, Andrew Hanlon, or if you email me, and I'll put it on the peasant chat, ydbt for life @gmail. And if you guys want to send dick pics, you can send them right here also. So ydbtforlife@gmail.com. Hit me up there, Mr. Hanlon. And we'll see about getting you tuned up for the NMRA factory stock car and see what we can do for you. We do have some cars that we support on the backside, nice and quiet. You know, we don't publicize it. But I'm interested. But because I work for Lund and any tuning has to go through Lund, I can't take advantage of any perks. But if you and I want to talk on the side about like TKO stuff, I mean, I work with Ben Calmer. Ben Calmer is like my dude when it comes to stick shift stuff, but I don't really have anything stick shift heavy in terms of that I need right now. It's all MT82 garbage. But if you guys have some badass T56 face plated, like some nasty shit that you guys are offering or something like that, hey, hit me up and we'll see what we can do, because the Fairmont, I'd love for it to go stick. Look, it's going to go in 850 this summer, maybe lower with the Edelbrock blower, but eventually I want to get a stick back in it. Why? Because that's literally my wheelhouse. I love that. Oh my God, Carson Little is battling Kyle Brandon now. Sorry, Mr. Hanlon, but there are some rich people apparently fighting over my, they're courting me. What the fuck is wrong with people? So he says, thanks for all the support and knowledge this past year. Recently, Lund tuned Taquache in the streets of Chicago. So, wow. Unbelievable. So, Carson gave me 200. Do I hear another one from Kyle Brandon? What the fuck is going on? Unreal. Mustang Guru says, MT82 class action lawsuit. Any updates? No updates. I don't think it's going to go through. I think it's just going to go absolutely nowhere. But Mr. Hanlon, I'd love to talk for sure. Just hit me up in that email. Geraldo Flores, probably a cousin of mine, says, I got a 15 manual car with a Roush Phase 1 blower and I want more power. What do you recommend before getting a tune? Actually, you got to get a tune. If it's a Phase 1, nothing. Kyle Brandon gave me 25 more bucks. Hilarious. Shit. So honestly, if you have a Phase 1 with a Phase 1 tune, you can't do shit unless you get a tune, sir, because if you get headers in it, it's going to throw a code. If you get a bigger cold air, it's going to run lean. There's nothing you can do on that car aside from really good fuel to make more power with the Roush Phase 1 tune. Troubleshooting now. Please help my love. Mauro FV. David Jaffrey says, which specialty Mustang, in your opinion, is badass looking with power to back it up and the quality parts? Yoquache, YOLO and Taquache morph together in YOLO slang. Yoquache. Okay, so he said, what is the most badass looking Mustang with the power to back it up with quality parts? Bro. Here it is. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Bum, bum, bum. This motherfucker was, to me, top dog. This to me was top dog in everything. T56, 351 Windsor block, some bitch ass power dyne, whatever the fuck. Who gives a shit? Celine S351 and the 99 version was baller looking. Okay, because of the effects and everything. I do like how they look. That's probably the only vehicle of that generation, aside from the Cobra, that I thought looked spectacular. But this thing, in its stock shape with tires, went 11.0 during Muscle Mustangs and Fast Forward testing. I think Hot Rod backed up the number. It supposedly made 495. That number tells me it was making above that. So an S351 looks, power, trans motor, supercharged in 1999. That to me was my unicorn, my Moby Dick. Cal Brandon throws another 100 down. Oh my God. It's oh, it's like play by play here. Oh my God. I can't believe it. And a left and a right. And then Cal Brandon knocks down Carson Little. Carson Little, does he have anything left in the tank or the bank account? Unreal. I never thought I'd be in a position ever in history when I was in Holyoke, Massachusetts, like a little bitch, that I'd be like announcing two guys going back and forth giving me money. That's crazy. Oh my God. Oh, Carson Little gets up off the mat. He gets up off the mat and he says, fuck you, right hook right to the face. Take that, Cal Brandon. Who the hell are you? Alex is my bitch, and I'm going to claim my bitch. What you going to do, Cal Brandon? Are you going to sit back in the ropes and take that shit? The peasant chat is lit. Oh, my God. I'm sweating. I'm laughing so hard. If he drops his whole Citibank Visa card on my shit, I'd laugh my ass off just to prove a point. Oh my God. Okay, so Carson Little paid 100 way back when, and I guess Kyle already rebutted that. John Walton says, I put a blowfish, I can't even talk. I put a blowfish bracket and braided line in the separate reservoir with a factory clutch, MT82 stock rebuild 13 GT. What have you seen? What have I seen? I've seen that too because it shares the same fluid from the brake reservoir to the clutch. So sometimes if your brakes are hot, your clutch is dead as fuck. So I think it's a good idea to have a separate reservoir for your clutch fluid. I don't know that it's beneficial, but I know that when I was at the track and I was a road race track with the black car and I was heavy on the brakes, I totally lost my clutch. It like boiled the liquid. So I understood why having a separate reservoir was the best. Rigo 50, I'm sorry. Kona Blue Coyote says, Kyle and Carson need sponsor labels in the corner while live. You know what? I'm going to see if I can get that done because these guys, especially Kyle, is like literally the biggest sponsor I've ever had, like money-wise on this chat. So I'm going to see if I can make them like special or something. I'm going to look into it. Obviously, I can't look into it right now, so I'm going to make a mental note. Actually, I'm going to write it down on a piece of paper so I can remember it because a lot of shit goes down and I forget. Kyle needs recognition, and so does Carson. Kyle and Carson. Special logos or something. See if I can make them like a top fan or something like that on YouTube. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, Pedro Alvarado. De nada, becha. Get PayPal set up so YouTube doesn't take a cut of the money. Look, what do you want me to do? Some of the mechanisms here may work. I'm not looking to keep every single penny. YouTube does everything. YouTube allows me to get everything out to you guys. YouTube has the streaming. YouTube has the mechanism. YouTube have everything. So I'm not going to say, fuck you, YouTube. I'm going to say, thank you, YouTube, for allowing a medium for me to get paid for the knowledge that I drop on some of these people. Let them keep some of the money. It's okay. That's how it works. It's a service they're providing. I'm simply using the service. And if you got to pay 30%, that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? SK Performance Jeff, what's up, brother? Saw you at PRI. Thanks for checking in. He says, what size shirt do you wear, YOLO? We got a care package headed your way for you and the PHB homies, or PBH. I wear a large, but let's make it an extra large because once I wash it, my tits hang out a little bit too much. I got too much pec for the putes, you know what I'm saying, becha? So make it an extra large, and the guys at Power by the Hour mostly take large or extra large. I appreciate that, SK Performance, Jeff. Appreciate that very much. Carson Little, oh my God. So Carson Little must be rich because now he's rubbing it in Kyle's face. He is now jabbing from afar. He's going, He says, this is $1 adult where I come from. So he is now telling Kyle Brandon, bro, I could do this all day. Can you? I could sit here and give Alex money all day. Can you? What the fuck is happening? Ford Moore Performance says strip chat in 5-4. Look, at this point, I'm going to have to show you guys my asshole because the amount of money you've thrown at me is more than you've thrown at strippers in the last year. Have you guys gone to strip? Actually, don't answer that. I mean, do you guys really go to strip clubs and spend more than $150? Drinks, chilling, get blowjob? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you pay to get her. Danny Wiggs, a new guy, is in the chat. Holy shit, he's coming. I think this is now a Royal Rumble. You know how, usually two guys are fighting in the ring, and here comes Danny Wiggs coming down the aisle and takes out like a la Steve Austin in WrestleMania, whatever the fuck it was. He came in here, was just like, I'm in this bitch too. Danny Wiggs, dropping the C note, a new player in the game, says, lunch for the Lund team for all the help you guys have been on my card. Danny, I'll make sure I PayPal the guys tomorrow. $100. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'll probably send them $200 and be like, guys, you can have lunch for the rest of the week, because between Carson, Kyle Brandon, and Danny, you guys have bought lunch for the Lund crew for a week, and I'll make sure it gets to them. This is ridiculous. I appreciate it. I'm not going to sit there and say I won't take your money, but it's not necessary. I love you guys, but it's not necessary. But I'll take your money. Do you know what I am saying? Spiritual Midnight gave me... Spiritual Midnight's like, here's $2. He doesn't say shit. It's $2. And he comes back, he goes, you missed mine as well. Extra for you tonight. I missed your question, Spiritual Midnight. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'll go back. We got time. Spiritual Midnight. Here you go. $5. Hey, man, I'm going to, with new rims finally, and going with the 19.9, 275, 35.19. And for the rears, 305, 35.19 in the rear. Will it rub? That is the question. I don't think, it depends on the wheel and the offset. If you have like a crazy offset, but if, it might be a problem. But if you have like a performance pack wheel or something like that, and it's tucked in the fender, and depend how low your car is, but I have not seen 305, 35.19s rub on 19, 10.5s on an S197. Like, I haven't. Unless the offset is so stupid that it's sticking way out and the car is low. So Spiritual Midnight, I think you'll be okay. Abel S550 says, God damn it, Carson, this is all I got. And he sent me $2. Alejandro Flores is gay, says boats and hose. It paid me $2 though. Kyle Chapman, $5 says, great stuff. Love your show. Hoping you can give a birthday shout to my girlfriend, Testicles. Happy birthday, Testicles. We're a pair of big fans. Good puns. Very, very good puns. So Testicles. Happy birthday, Testicles. His balls. Okay, guys. It is nearing that time. Actually, I can stay up for another 10 minutes or so. About an hour and a half to make it nice and even. So I'm giving you a heads up that if you want to give me another fucking $100, you have 10 minutes to do so. But again, I really appreciate you three psychopaths that are just throwing money around like it don't matter. That is crazy in this COVID. Actually, is that your COVID check? It sounds like it's your COVID check. Rigo 50 Coyote says, Bejo, second time you skip me showing some channel support. Rigo 50 Coyote, where are you, bro? Look, people give me $100, man. You just got to take your place in line. Let me see. Hey, Alex, car's pulling hard, sending log in the morning. Here's some channel support. Rigo 50 Coyote. Thank you. Are you the Paxton guy or are you the Whipple guy? There was a couple of guys there. There were a couple of guys that we got tuned up today that I was able to raise the rev limiter pretty quickly. It seems like on Paxton, Pro Charger, and Whipple guys, I can raise the rev limiter right away. I can almost send you a tune that is opened up, but I don't because I want to make sure that everything is good. But every single time I open it up and I'm like, hey, Watt pull to 7,500, they come back and they say, God damn it, this thing rolls. So maybe you're one of those guys. I'll look out for the log tomorrow and I'll get cracking on it. Gotta get out of here, bitch. Yonce 50. Yeah, there's too much money being flung around here. You ever been in a club and there's these two guys just flinging money and you're like, okay, I'm not in this shit. I'm just gonna duck out on this one because these motherfuckers are just high rollers. I'm just gonna watch. That's what's happening on this chat. Did you talk to Vortec today, bitch, or Schmitty Schmitz? Yes, Schmitty Schmitz or Smitty Schmitz. I sent them an email. I wasn't able to talk to them because I just had too much shit going on later in the afternoon. So I basically just, emailed them and said, hey, let's get the ball rolling on getting some pricing for a direct drive Vortex setup to see what price. They suggested a YSI, which I get. And if I can make like 1100 horsepower on a YSI direct mounted, that'd be sick. I don't want a centrifugal mounted up in the top there. It is, oh my God, Arturo Amorcillo. Jesus Christ. Another guy paying $100 for a YOLO shirt. Arturo, absolutely you can get a shirt, but you got to hit me up at ydbtforlife@gmail.com and tell me who you are, and I'll get you a shirt. gmail.com. ydbtforlife@gmail.com. Arturo, hit me up there. Tell me who you are. Kind of verify it somehow. I'll get you a shirt, man. No problem. I'll get you 5 fucking shirts. I got way more shirts than I know what to do with. God damn it. All the money being thrown around here is a little stupid. I might have to drop my pants and show you my asshole. It's crazy. Camaro 6 LTX has 200 pennies. He's right. And you know what happens when you put a penny in your mouth, right? That's how ass tastes. Retos Forza says, ass or boobs, Android or iPhone? I'm a ass and Android guy. Ass and Android. Some of your opinion are but I still love you. Jared Stallworth. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you either own a Bullet or like Eleanor Mustangs. That's okay. Jeremy Fail says, you missed my question. Brett and Burke says, I'm horny. Drink from your cup. Brett Burke, whatever you want, buddy. Oh, you hear that going down my throat, baby? God damn it. It's Carson. This is all I got. Okay, so $2. Okay, I'm caught up, I think. F-150, S550 says, it better be waxed. For the money that these guys have thrown at me, I'll laser my asshole. That'd be pretty asshole. Looks like you're getting twin turbos soon, bitch. I'll Tony Turbo 91. No, believe it. I could get twin turbos right now, but I'm trying to make it NA. But if you guys keep paying me like this, I'll just throw twin turbos on the bitch. My plan with the red car was this. Go 10s NA, throw a nitrous kit on it, go 9s, throw twin turbos on it, go 8s, and hopefully blow it up. Right? That was the plan. But looks like I'm going to go straight to twin turbos. Missed my question. Shane. Sorry. It's been a little silly with everyone just dropping $100 on me, brother. I love you though. Shane. Shane, see what happens when I have to go back? Hey, Alex, I just got long tube headers, and an E85 tune on my 19 GT convertible. I have 18 by 8.5 and 235 Pirellis. How long till my axle goes snap? Pretty soon, Shane. Wheel hop is your biggest culprit when it comes to axle breakage. So those thin wheels are not going to grip. So if I were you, I'd lower the car, get some bracing back there, and get some wider tire, because it's not going to be fun when you snap an axle at the track, because replacing it is a bitch and getting towed home sucks. You know, you made it when you're getting paid like a cam girl. Cam girls make it's $1,700 this chat. What the fuck happened? I mean, I love you guys. I appreciate it. But today was extra special because 2 guys just started fighting. But if they were smart, right? If they were really smart, right when I say I'm leaving, they should all drop the $100 because they'll get the last word, the knockout blow. That's crazy. You guys are psycho. Alex, I think we deserve an old school half flick from the YOLO days. At this point, whatever the fuck you want, I'd be like, ugh. See this, when I started doing this, people wondered, why do you flip your hat? So YOLO had curved hats, but he liked flat hats. So I started kind of going like this. Oh, what's going on, guys? And then, and then it would never get flat. So that was kind of the shtick with the hat flipping. It would never get flat. So YOLO would always be like, oh, it's fucking hat's never flat. So yeah, there's your hat flip. Look, you guys paid for that. I'll do whatever the fuck you want at that point. Odin Kit funding support for the Yodi. No Odin's going on my car. No offense to VMP. I've already done that. I've been there, done that, supported their product for many years. I'm done. I appreciate that they're, out there making new kits, but I'm sticking with Edelbrock, and after Edelbrock, I am not going PD anymore. Positive displacement, top mount blowers. I am done with that setup. I'm going to go either with a big centrifugal or just go right to turbos. I've already done it. It's over. Carson Little gave me $25. Didn't say a goddamn thing. My favorite kind of money. Sam M says, I have a 03 Cobra and thoughts on Kenny Bell 2.2 versus a VMP 2.3. I have both laying in my living room. Does the Kenny Bell have overheating issues? The 2.3 is going to be your best bet. I've seen guys go into the 9s with a 2.3, not have any issues, man. 990, 980, Cobra, stick shift, just getting it done on E85. I would not fuck with anything. Fuck it. I will not fuck with anything Kenny Bell, period. Unless it's like a 4-lead or something, because it's a big motherfucker, or the 3.6. But honestly, on that particular setup, I prefer the VMP 2.3. Missed that hat flip. Everyone likes it. I guess everyone likes the hat flip. You got to understand. The YOLO character was attracting, in my opinion, the wrong kind of people, right? People were now like, I love him because he's a clown. And every once in a while, I'll sprinkle it in there. But if it becomes the main character, it shines badly on the Lund Racing name, because no matter what, when I'm out there, I'm representing Lund all the fucking time. So I can't go out there flipping my hat, saying fuck you and this and that to like other people, because YOLO was going in on tuning companies. YOLO was going in on parts companies. So now that I'm in this position, I can't go in there talking all that shit. But I'll sprinkle some YOLO once in a while that's generic, but nothing to make the company look bad or to attract clowns or dumbasses to my shit. But I appreciate it. Chango says, yo, give me a job. Daywood Jaffrey says, you missed 2 of my questions amidst all the ballers. Daywood, it's one of them days, man. You're just going to have to, sometimes your bets just don't even get looked at. Daywood Jeffrey said, you missed my last question. And another question, what are your thoughts on IRS swap Fox bodies? I don't understand IRS swap Fox bodies unless you are going for comfort, Daywood Jeffrey. I think a lot of Fox body owners now are moving towards just junk quarter mile builds to a nice, solid, great driving Fox. So they're putting S550 interior. Some guy makes brackets to put S550 seats in a coupe. You can put the dash, you can put the whole interior. Some guys are making the locks work with the key, and they put the IRS to settle down the ride and make it drive good. The problem is the rest of the car is still a Fox body. It's still going to rattle, still going to make a whole bunch of noise. It's a light little car. It's cool. It's like building an old Nova and putting it on a nice chassis, or a nice, nice chassis, like some aftermarket frame. But you can still retain the old body because you want the nice ride. I think Fox bodies are becoming that. The 60s Camaro of our generation is the Fox body Mustang for us 40 to 50-year-olds. So we're seeing this car come through. We were getting all nostalgic, just like guys with their Barracudas were, guys with their Chargers, Challengers, and Camaros. So now we're making nice driving cars that are Fox bodies. Carson Little throwing some more money at me. Holy shit. It might be heating up again, but I'm going to get going because it's going to get to close to 10 o'clock and I got to get to sleep because it takes me a while to calm down, especially today. Today was a ridiculously successful chat because 2 guys went at each other nonstop. Josh Kank says, any downside to move the front O2s further downstream to a piece I can remove? Can't find a guy to get a new hole and run a good bead with the headers on the car. E85 10R80 new angled O2s. No, man, I wouldn't move them any further because you need them to be close to the collector. And if you move them further down, then it's not going to fuel properly because it's not sampling properly. Some people put them in like a primary tube. And I'm like, no, now you're sampling just off of one cylinder as opposed to the collector. So try to do it as close to the collector as possible where everything is coming together. If you go any further downstream, the signal quality might be gone. Oh my God, Kyle Brandon gets up off the mat. Hip-ha! Take that, motherfucker. Boom! Right before you leave, I'm going to give you $100 more bucks. Pow! Fuck you guys. This is insanity. You guys are literally insanity. Brandon says he still needs to catch up on me from the last 3 to 4 months. Ooh, did you hear that? Wait a minute. What's his name? I should know his name by now. I should have it tattooed on my ass at this point. Arturo Hermosillo, he's talking shit about you. And Carson Little and Danny Wiggs. All you guys that gave $100, he just said, fuck you. I've been supporting Alex for 4 months, so you need to drop $3,000 into Alex's shit to catch up. Everyone's like, I'm out. I'm leaving. Kyle did make a gangster statement right then and there. He's like, he ain't got shit on support. So I'm going to try to see if I can make Kyle Brandon like a moderator. And no, I don't want to give anyone power because the problem is with power comes corruption. We want to keep Kyle sane and good. We do not want him overpowering some of the peasants out there. We need you guys to keep, every time you see the name Kyle, you bow. You kneel. You kneel to Kyle. You kneel to Bile. If you see Kyle around, you kneel to him like everyone else is kneeling out and about. Should I go twin turbo supercharger on my 17 S550 5-speed? Superchargers are less maintenance. Turbos will ultimately make more power. So you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. Damn, Kyle, talking all that shit. Just putting up with me. I'll be sending a new data log. Vincenzo Marra. Yes, sir. I'll be here. Emmanuel Garcia says 3,200 pounds, S197 with 675 turbo, 1,000 wheel. TR6060, what gears you recommend? Quarter mile. 1,000 wheel? Probably 373s. I think 410s will be too much. So probably 373s is your best bet. Would be moving them down 2 to 4 inches, Josh Kang. That should be okay, Josh Kang. Should be okay, 2 to 4 inches. Keep it on closer to the 2-inch side than the 4-inch side. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to get out of here. Try to calm down from this insane. Look, I'm going to show you guys how much this chat was today. It was ridiculous. Look right up here. That is crazy. I don't want you guys to look at this like, Alex, look, I'll answer a $2 question, same as a $100 question. You guys do not, please, you do not need to hope you don't feel the need to spend a lot of money. But I appreciate it. Look, trust me, I appreciate it. But at the end of the day, I don't think you need to spend a lot of money to get my attention. Just something witty, something funny. And I think that's great. Now, do I appreciate Kyle and all the other guys? Let's see, Kyle, Carson, and Danny. I really appreciate you guys supporting the channel big time, even though it was a competitive thing, but it is not necessary. Please, 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 please. So just, take it easy, guys. I don't want it to look like I'm some money-hungry douchebag. I really am not. But I appreciate everything. Carson Little throws $20 at it. He's probably transferring money from his savings. He's like, wait a minute. I got to go to Bank of America, and I got to transfer from savings to checkings, and then hit the super chat, and the super chat will take it from this card. Unreal. But I'm going to get out of here. I really appreciate everyone that supported the channel today and all the questions that came through. And if you're a customer and you've been dealing with me, we're going to talk tomorrow, I'm sure. We'll talk about probably this chat, and hopefully your car's running well. I appreciate you guys bringing me subject matter. A lot of guys wanted to talk about the Mach 1, so you tagged me in Mach 1 stuff on Instagram. A lot of you guys brought me up to snuff on the B is for Bill drama. And I gave you some examples of how customers are not always right. So hopefully today was a good look into the life of a tuner. And hopefully next week will be a similar show. For those of you that watch the dating channel, I will see you Thursday with an update on the last thing I talked about. So no drama, just a change, just a shift. So for those of you that are interested in my personal dating life, that dating channel is the channel. And I'll be on Thursday, 8:15, 8:30 or so. So for those 100 of you that watch it, I'll see you guys then. Talk to you guys.